There we go. I gotta remember how to do this. It's been a minute. Can you hear me all right? Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can. Yay! Hey, Charlie, Lake, Cindy, Shauna. Awesome, awesome. I was setting up the live, and when you're first setting it up, instead of a title, it gives you your channel name. So it just said, That Lisa Dawn is live, while I'm like holding the camera looking down like this, and I had a panic attack for a second because I thought that I went live like instantly like that, but that was just my title. So I think I got it figured out. I got my laptop set up right here, so if you see me looking down at my laptop, that's just that way I can see your chat a lot more easily than it is on your on my phone. Oh my gosh, you guys gathered quick. I was hoping that doing a live too close to my video upload wouldn't, you know, I didn't want you to have to miss one or the other, but I figured it had been so long since I have like kind of been uploading anything that, and I haven't done a live in forever, so I figured might as well. That'd be fun. Got Beth from Alabama, Jill from Ontario. Am I a former pirate? I'm a former catamount and a former tornado. We got South Carolina, West Virginia, Ohio, Arizona. Awesome. So I'm going to get started making dinner in a few minutes. I know some of you are probably thinking I'm on the East Coast. It's kind of a late dinner, which it is, but we had a late lunch today, and I'm not going to lie, I had to hype myself up to get on a live and cook. So it's a little bit late, but that's okay. Andrew and I are already planning to watch a movie after this. We're always up late on Saturday nights. We're night owls. But I'm going to be making some Instant Pot beef stew in a few minutes here. I'll just give a few minutes for anyone else who sees the live and is going to pop in, a chance to come in. I figure I'll make my dinner. We can hang out and chat a little bit. See Eden, North Carolina in there. D. Lee says, first time seeing me on a live. Most of you probably haven't seen me on a live because I think this is my third live I've ever done. It's something I would like to do more often, but it's a little bit intimidating. You know, it's a lot less intimidating when I can, you know, edit myself before y'all see me, but I see we got some Western North Carolina, Asheville representing. I used to live in the mountains for a while, worked out there. I love the North Carolina mountains. Actually, my mom is in the mountains right now. Her birthday was at the beginning of the month, but she is celebrating with some friends. They have a house out there. I think they're like out near like Tryon or somewhere. All I know is that she sent me a picture of a really nice hot tub and was like, you jealous? Which, yes, I am. I don't think I've been to Eden, North Carolina, for the person who asked if I've been to Eden. If I have, it's just been passing through. How long have Andrew and I been together? Forever, probably, at this point. Let's see. Philly representing, heck yeah. Have I been to New York? I have been to New York. I especially love upstate New York. What's the state park that... Watkins Glen State Park is really, really gorgeous. Fuquay-Varina, all right. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Tennessee, awesome, awesome. All right, so I am gonna at least get started on my dinner because it's gonna take a while anyway. I'm doing an Instant Pot beef stew. I have kind of a recipe for myself because I always forget how I make something and then I make it 10 different ways. So I finally got around to writing this down, so I have at least a little bit of a guide to follow. But I'm gonna turn my Instant Pot on saute. Grab myself out some oil. Andrew is in the other room. He was working on like a video game project with some friends of his. A little bit of oil in there. Andrew will probably pop in, potentially. Yes, I have my glass of wine. It is a Aldi Pinot Noir. It is not my favorite Pinot Noir, but it is my favorite price for a Pinot Noir. It was $5. California Heritage is left over from my birthday. I opened it on my birthday and drank a glass or two and then forgot about it. But I also have really, really great friends. I had a party. It was really fun. It was like a dinosaur jungle themed prehistoric party. You guys should see the volcano that Andrew made for me. It was awesome. But yeah, my friends brought so much stuff over that I never had a chance at finishing the bottle I opened. I opened the bottle while I was finishing up like the decorating and cooking and stuff. So I have some manager special from Food Lion, like cubed beef stew beef. It was 2 pounds. It's open because I've already frozen half of it. It was a little over 2 pounds, so I'll use a pound of it in this meal, and then I'll use the other pound at some future date. It's in the freezer. Next time I'll be nice and I'll make this when my mom is home. She's gonna yell at me probably just a little bit. I don't know, she's on vacation. She can't yell at me for not including her on beef stew night. See, Alice is having some Aldi Winkin' Owl Chardonnay. I do love Winkin' Owl. They don't make a Pinot Noir in Winkin' Owl, but their Moscato is a fan favorite in my friend group. All right. As I said, I opened this already because I froze half of it. The packaging was always a little bit kind of gross. Hold on. I'm basically just waiting for the oil in my Instant Pot to heat up right now. Get a little bit of seasonings on here, and I'll probably add more once it's in the pot because that's who I am as a person. And I'm gonna try to follow the chat as much as I can, but y'all are definitely it's scrolling through fast, so I'm gonna try and keep up on a good bit of it. But if I miss you asking me something, I promise it's not personal. So this heats up pretty quick. I don't normally love the saute function on this thing, but for like small amounts of meat, it's fine. And this is the kind of meal where it's not worth it for me to get out another pan just to saute the meat. The Curious Chronicles, you really enjoyed my video today. Good. I am so happy that you did. It took me forever to edit that. I was on such a good roll, like getting videos out there. Oh, thanks, Abby. Such a good roll getting videos out there. And then I did I was so on top of it, so excited filming that video. And then it got to the editing and I got myself in a rut. I got overwhelmed by it and it just, I don't know, it happens sometimes. I'm trying to figure out the routine not to get caught in those ruts. I'll figure it out eventually. Hey Justina, I am doing fantastic tonight. I hope you are as well. Let's see. Alice asked, do I ever batch cook to have leftovers for like half a week? So sometimes, not as often lately, but sometimes, yeah, usually for lunches. Usually I'll cook a dinner that can then do at least a couple days, like 2 or 3 days of lunches for all of us, just so that way we don't have to worry about that. And then I can cook a smaller dinner that doesn't necessarily have to have lunches for the next day. Or sometimes something that I make, it's just not gonna have lunches the next day. Like when we have burgers and stuff like that, we usually don't make enough burgers to have leftovers, that kind of thing. Watching from Vietnam. All right, that is a faraway view. I would love to come visit sometime. Yeah, Vietnam, Korea, Thailand, Japan, all lists of far off places that I would love to visit and eat my way through. All right, this is probably hot enough for me to get this in. Let me grab a... Oh yeah, I can hear that sizzling. It'd be really cool if I had, like, it was really fancy and I had a second camera pointing down right in there. Get that out of the way. We'll see if I really get a good sear on it. The last time I made this, there was so much like fat and liquid released from it that it didn't really sear as nicely as like if it was in my cast iron. So like I said, another reason why the Instant Pot's not my favorite for searing meat, but this is one of the few Instant Pot like complete meals that I actually fully make in the Instant Pot without any extra like side pans or anything like that. So I appreciate the simplicity of it, and it turns out amazing every single time. Let's see, we got Justina from Newfoundland, Gina from Florida. Hello from Las Vegas. Andrew and I just went to Vegas for the first time in May because Andrew's sister got married, and so we did a real short, it was like a 3-night, I think we spent 3 nights out there, but it was fun. We were doing it's hard to do a very budget-friendly Vegas, but there are definitely like hidden gems, we'll say, out there for keeping things affordable. And there's so much to do out there that's not even, I mean, just like sightseeing, there's a lot to do. I love how all the hotels, there's a level of detail in the hotels that like you just don't see anymore. Like you don't see like corporations putting that kind of money into their destinations. We stayed at the Luxor, which is the big pyramid, and that was super cool. See, Grandma Tessa says, I don't have an Instant Pot yet. I mean, it really just, it depends on what kind of cooking we do. Like, I don't have an air fryer because I don't think I do the kind of cooking that merits an air fryer. I know there's definitely some things I make that would come out great in an air fryer, but overall, I don't think I make a ton that would be good for an air fryer. But like the Instant Pot, I cook a lot in, and I did a lot of research before I originally bought it. I can't remember how long ago I bought this. Probably like 2017 or 18, I'm guessing. But yeah, I did a lot of research for the kind of meals that I like to cook and whether the Instant Pot was going to make my life easier or not. And so I ended up getting it, and now I have a second one too. I got a smaller one that I got for $15 from the thrift store, and one of my friends joked about it at my birthday party because I have my 2 Instant Pots and then my 2 rice cookers next to each other, and they were like, how many of these things do you have? And I was tempted to be like, not enough. Let's see, we got Annabelle from Germany, Hillary from Maine. Happy to have you all here with me. Having a glass of wine to settle the going live nerves, but I hope that we all have a good time tonight. I'm grabbing my measuring cup now, so I've got it handy. I wrote down, what did I write down? 2.5 cups of broth I usually add to this, but I've just been using bouillon for everything lately, so I'll be doing water and then 2.5 cups of bouillon in just a minute here. Hey from Charlotte. You are right down the road. So, do I have a garden this year? I do have a garden this year. It's not doing great this year. My peppers are doing okay, and I've gotten like a little bit of cherry tomatoes and a little bit of cucumbers, but it's not been doing great. All of that rain that we had, and I guess it was it June, like beginning of June, it felt like every single day it was rain, rain, rain. And so most of my tomato plants ended up dying. Oh, thank you so much. I don't know how I'd pronounce your name, but I see N3VIK, 1K. Thank you. So Andrew would agree that he is a lucky man. But yeah, my garden, all that rain, it killed most of my tomatoes. And I saw there's a North Carolina garden YouTuber I follow. I think it's the Millennial Gardener. I think he's out on the coast of North Carolina, and he said he pretty much lost his tomatoes too. So I felt less bad, less like it was something that I did wrong or could have done. And then, yeah, my peppers are really the only, and my marigolds. That's actually probably the thing that I'm most successful with is marigolds. But, I'm just going to do what I can with the garden this year. And then in the fall, I'm going to really amend my beds. I've been going a few years, and I never was really super happy with the soil mix that I got. I got it from a really well-reviewed nursery in the Raleigh area. But it's very sandy, very kind of dense. So, yeah, I'm gonna amend it, kind of gonna try to lighten it up, and then instead of kind of like letting things grow where they want it to grow that I did this year in my garden, next year I'm gonna be a lot more intentional about it. Oh, and then the other thing that happened is a deer got into my garden for the first time, even though I've got kind of a fencing around it. It had dipped and I took too long to fix it, and so a deer got in and had eaten the tops off of almost everything. So that also was a detriment to my garden's success. Have I tried beef stew with brown lentils? No, but that sounds good. All right, this is almost ready for me to be adding like broth and stuff, so I probably should start cutting some stuff that's going to go in there. The last time I had to cut something on live, I pre-cut everything because I was a little nervous that I was, the worst thing that could happen is me cutting myself on live not because of the cut, but because I would be so embarrassed. But I'm feeling good about it tonight. I can handle it. But I'm just gonna dice this onion real quick. I'll show you in a second what happens to my other cutting board. I didn't do anything to it other than, maybe I should have oiled it more, but I think it's a cheap cutting board. Thank you so much, Marquita. That is so generous of you. Thank you, thank you. Susan says, I have no idea you did lives. I don't often. This is my third ever. It's something I would like to get into the habit of. Hopefully I can get on a roll with that. It's just a little bit intimidating, and I gotta work myself up to it. All right, I lost myself. Oh. My other cutting board. Now I have two cutting boards. I was washing it and it just snapped, which is fine. They were super cheap cutting boards. I think I got both of them for like $6 at Ross. And I can always sand this, oil it, and then I've got some interesting serving trays. But anyway, all right, that is starting to look nice and browned. I'm gonna do bouillon instead of beef broth. So I'm adding about 2.5 cups. It doesn't need to be like super, super exact. And then I've got my beef broth here. I actually buy it in like the really big containers. And then I refill these ones because they're convenient to have on my little like spice rack that I have over here. eyeballing it. I can always add more if I decide I feel like it needs more. I do want to add a little bit more pepper and garlic right now because I just feel like I'm going to want it. Anytime anyone asks me to do like recipes, the seasoning and like things are my biggest hang up on doing recipes because I just eyeball everything. So it is hard to say an exact amount that anyone should add to anything. All right, add onions in. And then I pre-washed all of these potatoes and carrots because I didn't want to have to just like sit there at the sink scrubbing vegetables with my back turned to y'all. But I'm just going to cut these into some nice big chunks. I don't want to go too small because I don't want them to dissolve in the Instant Pot. I'm not sure I'll use all these potatoes. It might be kind of a lot. Thank you to those who are saying really kind things like that you like my videos and things like that. It definitely means a lot to me because I get anxious before every video that I publish, and I know it's silly. I've been doing this a while now, and everybody's always like gives me such great reactions, but I still have this like sense of dread every time I go to hit that publish button. It doesn't make sense. Occasionally, I've even had Andrew hit the publish button for me because I'm like, Andrew, you just do it. You see me looking to the side here, for those who weren't here earlier, I've got my laptop right here because it's a little bit easier I can see more of the chat. The phone kind of like highlights some stuff occasionally, but it disappears quick. I think I'm gonna save this potato for later. I got a lot of potatoes going on in there. And then the carrots, I'll do nice big chunky pieces of carrots. I get comments about like, oh, Lisa, you should have your hair up while cooking. Valid, half the time I do. But I also, like a lot of times I do, and you guys don't see it because it's behind the camera. But I also, like, if I was getting hair in the food and my household was complaining, I would make sure to always put my hair up. But it's not. I just think it's funny that it's a complaint that I get a lot. Not a lot. That's not right. It's a complaint that I occasionally get from viewers, but it's never an actual, like, real issue in my house. Now, if my hair starts falling out, that'll be a different story. What you cooking? I'm cooking some Instant Pot beef stew. Same thing with the carrots. I think I'm gonna save this last carrot that I've got over here. I'm not gonna snack on any right now, but usually anytime I'm cooking with carrots, I'm also snacking on them as I'm cutting them. Let's see. I'm not left-handed. I'm very, very, very much right-handed. The flavor differences between big carrots and skinny carrots. I don't know. Have I noticed the flavor difference? I don't know. I like the skinnier ones for snacking on just because it's easier. So I'm going to get like 2 or 3 cloves of garlic here. Pretty much as many as I have the patience to cut. Let me tell you though, Look how big these bulbs of garlic are, and these are actually the smaller ones. That garlic came from another one. I was at the grocery store and I wasn't even planning to buy garlic, but I walked past it and it was only 50 cents a bulb and they were huge, so I bought 3 of them. It'd be helpful if it was that cheap in the fall, because I would like to try planting garlic again. I say again, but I haven't really done it on time to be able to get garlic, but I would like to do garlic. I've tried ginger, and the ginger wasn't super successful. That's another one that I would like to try again. Blame it on the alcohol. Big carrots might be sweeter. That would make sense to me. I hate peeling the paper off. There we go. Oh, my video's backwards. That may be the... Oh, you're right, it is. I'm watching it. So on my phone, I'm watching it and it's not mirrored. But yeah, you're right. On, where is it? No, you're right. It's mirrored. It's mirrored. You got me double guessing what hand I'm cutting with here. But yeah, I'm definitely right-handed. Here goes the garlic flying. I have a garlic press, but I just don't like using it. I got it from a thrift store, and I thought it was going to change my life as far as using fresh garlic, preparing fresh garlic, but I don't like it. Sometimes I just like doing things the hard way better. Tubes Aldi sells of garlic paste. I've seen them. I think they sound really good. Thank you so much, Rachel. That is so nice of you. I'm trying to express appropriate gratitude while also not cutting myself while I cut the garlic. But thank you so much. I think I'm just going to do 2 cloves because they're pretty big and I'm losing my patience for it. I think I'm going to take one of those whole bulbs and find an excuse this week to roast one of them. All right. I think that's everything I have to cut. Onion, carrots, potatoes, beef broth. See, this is why it's helpful to me, for me to actually write stuff down occasionally. I got a can of tomato sauce, just a little can. Pour that in with the Instant Pots. You want to be careful how much tomato stuff you add, because a lot of tomato sauce and it likes to burn. Let's see, some Worcestershire. A lot of times when I add tomato stuff, I'll just let it sit on top, because as long as it's not coming into contact with that heating element on the bottom, it's a lot less likely to burn. I used to make chili a lot in the Instant Pot, and nowadays I just do it on the stovetop because it's challenging to get something that's really heavy, tomato heavy, not to burn in it. A lot of people tell me that I seem very down to earth, which I'd like to think I am. I appreciate that. I feel like that's a positive quality to have. Do I ever cook rice? I pretty much always cook rice in my rice cooker, mostly because I have the rice cooker. I think rice turns out a little bit better in the rice cooker too. So yeah, I usually go with the rice cooker. What you cooking? I'm cooking some Instant Pot beef stew, and I got just about everything in there ready to go. Last thing I'm gonna add is I have this Cab Sav that someone brought to my house a while ago. I don't remember when, But I don't like Cab Sav, so I won't actually drink this bottle. Instead, I've just been adding it to things as I cook it. Just like a, I don't know, little splash. And I think that's everything I need to add. And then I'll turn the saute off. Put that to sealing, and then I'm gonna cook it for 35 minutes. So y'all may not get to see this be finished on this live. We'll see how long I hang out. But I'll make sure I post maybe a community post or something with the finished bowl. But I'm still hanging out for a while. I'm not going anywhere. I figure we can chat, and then I think I might be doing a little bit of baking here in a minute. So yeah. But I think the Cab Sav probably came from, a lot of times we've slowed down in the summer, but my friends and I, we do bad reality TV Sundays, and so they'll come over on Sunday afternoons and either bring usually wine or cheese and crackers, and so we have ourselves a nice little array of like different cheeses and crackers and wines, and we'll watch some bad reality TV show. We're especially partial to Love is Blind. I actually have the golden goblets. Aldi sold a version of them. They weren't actually like licensed or anything, but I still thought that was fun. But yeah, if it's a reality show and it's bad, there's a good chance we're gonna want to watch it. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way. And I think that's all I'll need to cut, so I'll put this out of the way. This can go back, excuse me. I'll push these out of the way. I feel like I'm forgetting something, which, even though I wrote down what I'm doing, that's still likely, but if I did forget anything, I don't think there's anything that I could have forgotten that will be make or break for the recipe. My 600-pound life diaries. I'm glad it says that it's filled with success stories, because I definitely have watched a lot of that show. We watch a lot more of either the romance ones or the wedding ones. Not so much the drama ones like My 600-Pound Life and Hoarders and things like that. I've definitely seen a lot of them because I do like some bad reality TV. I also am hydrating, drinking water too, so just FYI. Is Andrew gonna make an appearance? He might. I told him I was doing a live, and I told him he was welcome to pop in if he wanted to, so he may. For all I know, he very well might have the live on in the other room, and he's laughing at me being like, he might come on, he might not. See, should have filled your glass while you had the bottle out. No, because that one was the Cab Sav, and I don't like that one. Don't worry, I got the other one right here. I can top off. I don't think I'm gonna finish this bottle tonight, or if I do, it'll be after the live while me and Andrew are eating and watching something. We want to watch a movie tonight, but we're not sure what yet. There's a movie. It's definitely gonna appeal to a niche audience, probably, but Netflix, I think. K-pop Demon Hunters we want to watch. There's a few HBO movies that are on our list. We still haven't watched Bullet Train, even though we've been saying for the last year that we want to watch that. We want to watch Mickey 17. There's a couple more that are on there that are on our short list. And then Andrew had never seen Back to the Future, which is weird because his dad, that's exactly the type of movie that his dad would like, and his dad has a huge DVD collection, so I can't believe that he had never seen the Back to the Future movies. So I've had him watch the first one, and I still gotta have him watch the other two. Oh, did I go any place special for my birthday, and did I make a cake? So I did not. I didn't make a cake. I did get there's a place that sells little bundt cakes called Nothing Bundt Cakes. So I got my free bundt cake there. They do a free buntlet on your birthday every year. We went to the Cheesecake Factory because we had a gift card, and we really really liked their nachos. So we went and we got their nachos, and I got a free slice of cheesecake. And if it doesn't sound like a lot, like I was dying. Like we split these nachos and the cheesecake, and we actually went home with a little bit of the cheesecake because it was so hard to finish it. I just watched Happy Gilmore too. Yeah, I heard. I don't know what I've heard about that yet, honestly, but I saw that it was out. But also for my birthday, we went to Myrtle Beach for a few days. I had free hotel nights from my credit card, which I don't know what I'm gonna say. But I got free hotel nights, and I needed to use them up by the middle of July. And so I was balancing, like, what can I get the most out of the hotel points without having to fly somewhere, because I didn't want to pay for a plane ticket. So we ended up going to a really nice hotel in Myrtle Beach for a few days. Didn't have to pay anything for the hotel. So we didn't pay that much for eating out either. We went to a couple happy hours, got breakfast one day, had a couple meals in the room. The big meal that we did, like my special meal that we did, was a hot pot place in Myrtle Beach. I think it was called Nine Spices Hot Pot, and that might be my favorite hot pot place that I have ever been, because it's the first one I've ever been to that is buffet style. So instead of like having either an iPad or a sheet that you mark off the things that you want and they bring them to you, they had like a freezer with the little rolled up meats, and they had like on the buffet, they had the different vegetables and like fish balls and seafood and like all kinds of stuff. And it was really, really good. And they also had a fridge that was full of like not just like regular drinks, but like imported like Japanese sodas and like Asian drinks and things like that, and that was all included. So it was really, really cool, and it was really, really good. What city? It was in Myrtle Beach. Do you know who the other YouTubers in your part of the country are? I know of other YouTubers in the Southeast, because I feel like a lot of budget YouTubers are in the Southeast, but I have never like connected with any of them. And they're surprisingly like I'm involved in different like social like content creator groups in my direct geographic area, and like I've met a lot of people, but not a lot of people who do what I do, and honestly not a lot of people who do YouTube. I meet a lot more TikTokers and podcasters. Hello everyone who is just joining. Happy to have you here. I've got some Instant Pot beef stew going on here, and I think I might make some like banana bread muffin cupcake kind of things. It's a little bit warm in my kitchen, but honestly like the evening is the time to be doing it. Yeah, Dollar Tree Dinners has mentioned me a couple times, Rebecca. She is awesome. I know she recently moved to the other side of the country. I've never actually had the opportunity to like meet or connect with her in any way, but I love what she is doing. It's so funny that it's funny that you mentioned her mentioning me, because her last video that she mentioned me, one of my friends, she messaged one of my friends, because I haven't told most of my friends that I do YouTube, no particular reason. I just think it's funnier when they find out naturally, and that's what happened with this friend. Is she messages me on TikTok, because we're always sending each other TikTok videos, and she's like, Lisa, do you have a YouTube channel? And I was like, where did you see that? And she was like, oh my god, one of my favorite YouTubers mentioned you in her video. So I thought that was really, really funny. I agree with you, Alice. One of the cool things about YouTube is seeing how other people live. Like, I mean, not even just in other parts of the world too, just like the US is so different. Like we have so many like different geographical and cultural areas mashed into one country. Like, I mean, I'm originally from New Jersey, and you know, that's a lot different than North Carolina. And even within New Jersey, the part of New Jersey I'm from is really different from other parts of New Jersey, because people will be like, oh, you're from New Jersey, like you're you know about this, and I'm like, no, I'm not from that kind of New Jersey. Because like North Jersey, very, very, very different from rural South Jersey. Like people a lot of people associate New Jersey with like Newark and Trenton and a lot of the more populated parts of New Jersey, or with Jersey Shore. Not so much anymore, but back in the day, everyone was like, oh, like Jersey Shore. But yeah, the part of Jersey I'm from is very rural, agriculture, adjacent to the Pine Barrens. Like, you know, I would, the part of New Jersey I grew up in, I would ride my bike for like miles around on these, like, I don't know, there's like 2-lane, they're not back roads, they're the main roads, but you know, it's just like rural farm roads. Kind of like a white trashier version of a Hot Pocket. I mean, I feel like a Hot Pocket is just like a hand pie, whatever you stuff in like a pie crust, which, I mean, that was my Dollar Tree Christmas video, is I made pie crust and made little ham pies with whatever I could find at the Dollar Tree to stuff inside. The big thing with Hot Pockets is you see that they, apparently they don't have the sleeves anymore. Have you ever seen the channels that have people from their countries reacting to our food, like the British schoolboys who eat biscuits and gravy? Yes, I have. I love watching British people eat American food, and I love watching Americans eat British food. All my love to you know, my British viewers and things like that. I just love the cultural divide over beans on toast and biscuits and gravy, and I mean, I get the brunt of it in a very, very minor way, but occasionally, because I mean, I grew up shepherd's pie. I grew up that shepherd's pie, you can make it with ground beef. Like, people assume that if you're making a homemade shepherd's pie, it's probably gonna be ground beef. But I've had so many people lecture me that that's a cottage pie and a shepherd's pie is made with lamb. But I mean, we don't have, like, lamb isn't, I can go to the grocery store and get lamb, but it's just not a heavily consumed ingredient, I guess, at like most regular grocery stores, because the lamb section is like a little teeny tiny. I always bring, so one of my really, really good friends, she does a Passover party every year. She's Jewish. She does a Passover party. We go over and, you know, we do a very, it's an admittedly light, kind of lighthearted version of the Seder, but it is a Seder nonetheless. And I always bring the lamb shank bone. And like, so me having to hunt for this lamb shank bone every year, it tells you how limited the availability of different cuts of lamb can be in the U.S. And I don't even know if that's all the U.S., but at least in the Southeast here. I mean, and I'm in a major city. Yeah, see, Alice thinks that shepherd's pie was supposed to be beef. No, don't worry. Someone from overseas will definitely correct you that it is a cottage pie and that it is ground lamb if it is a shepherd's pie. I don't mind though, it's all in good fun. Like, I mean, even like regionally in the US, like, bring up chili to different people in the US. Someone from Texas, someone from Chicago, someone from different parts of the country. Like, you know, we got strong opinions on how things should be prepared. And that's okay. I mean, it's fun, it's food. Like, it's I get that people think that food is really, really serious because, like, I mean, food is a very, very personal thing because you can't survive without food. We spend so much of our life focused on food and eating and preparing food. Like, it's a very important social and cultural thing. But, like, when it comes to arguing about food, I'm just like, it's not that serious. It's just food. I would have never known you were from New Jersey. I would have thought you were more country. I mean, I've been in North Carolina for a long, long time. I mean, it took me a decade, maybe close to a decade, before you would ever hear the word y'all come out of my mouth. I was always a use guys girl. It was use guys this and use guys that. And that still comes out occasionally. Andrew will make fun of me. He'll make fun of me occasionally that, you know, the Jersey comes out. But it's funny because when I talk to people from Jersey, a lot of them will be like, oh, like, you sound like you have a northern accent. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like at this point I probably have a mishmash accent. Are you Italian? I am Italian. I mean, I'm overall a mutt, but yeah, my great granddaddy came over from Sicily on a banana boat, is what I was taught growing up. People laugh at me for saying pop instead of soda. That's another great example of how just in the U.S., man, people are fierce about what, you know, the proper like words for food or the proper way to prepare food is. Like, people get intense. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I growing up, I had only ever, like, I associated pop with like old timiness. Like, that was, I felt like that was something that I saw on like movies and shows and stuff, and it was like old timey stuff. Let's see, my countdown did finally come on here, so I got 34 minutes, and then I'm gonna let this natural release, which means I'm not gonna flip the little toggle and release the pressure. I'm gonna let it naturally kind of depressurize for at least 10 minutes, and then I can release the rest of the pressure, and I'll add a little cornstarch slurry in there to thicken it up a little bit. And then I'll be ready to eat. So not too bad, not too long. So the reason why I hesitate on a lot of food restriction videos is just because I don't have any dietary restrictions. So like, I could definitely research and do certain things. Like, I've definitely prepared meals that are vegan and vegetarian and things like that. Like, that kind of comes naturally due to like the restrictiveness of, you know, having certain ingredients. And I mean, I eat vegetarian meals occasionally. Like, I enjoy vegetarian meals. But when it comes to like gluten-free and meals for like people who are diabetics and things like that, I hesitate just because I'm not an expert on those kinds of diets. And so it's not that I'm opposed to doing them. I just feel like there's probably people out there who are like so much more educated about that, and you know, they're living that life, so they are probably the ideal person to learn about that from, because most of what I do, I mean, it's just the food that I'm regularly making, and either how I'm living my life now or how I've lived my life in the past. A vegan wedding cake. I thought it would be the end of me. I mean, baking vegan, definitely. I mean, I can see the challenge in that. That definitely. Yeah, I can see the challenge in that. What part of Jersey? I was born and raised in the Poconos. So I'm South Jersey, Gloucester County. And one of my friends, they had a cabin up in the Poconos, and I only went up a few times with her, but we had this like ridiculous mountain song that we would sing every time we went up there, and it was always a good time. What is the difference in the meal if you naturally release the pressure or release the pressure with the lever? So there's a couple different things. So when I do a meat heavy dish, I like to natural release it, just because I think it can affect the overall texture of the meat in a more positive way if you let it natural release. But also for soups and stews and things with a lot of liquid, if you let it natural release for at least 10 minutes, the most important thing is that it's not going to be spitting at you so much. Because there's a lot of liquid and all that pressure, if you release it too soon, it can spray out liquid. Yeah, so it's just worth it to wait. Let's see, Jasmine's getting into bed but can't wait to rewatch this. What are you making? I'm making some Instant Pot beef stew, and I might throw together some real quick like banana bread muffin cupcake kind of things in a minute here. I'm working up my energy for it, but I mean, that'll give me something to do, and we can hang out on live a little longer for those of you who want to hang out. I'm from Chicago. Awesome. German Catholic family. I'm also German. Like I said, I'm a regular mutt though. I got the Italian, the Irish, the German, the Ukrainian. Am I gonna finish my wine? I'm getting there. Someone else asked how my garden was. I kind of mentioned that earlier, but between the rain and the deer getting into my garden has suffered this year. I'm just doing the best that I can with it this year, and then I figure I'm going to go all in next year. But my peppers are doing good. I think my cucumbers are about to be doing good, and I might even get some zucchini soon. Thank you very much for that $1.99 and the Yum sticker. I see Toots and then some runes, but thank you very much. Won't try to pronounce it, a little bit rusty on that pronunciation there, but awesome. Someone else is gonna make some banana bread muffins tonight too. Cool. I'm gonna try making them chocolate. I've never done that before, but I think I'm gonna try that. I always add chocolate chips to them, but when I was thinking about making them, I was like, can I add cocoa powder? Because I have a lot of cocoa powder that needs to get used up. So I was like, can I add cocoa powder? And Google says yes. So I think I'm going to try that out. Friendly reminder to get your mammogram. Very, very important. Whew, man. I wish you nothing but the best and healing, and I hope that everything goes well. Anyone else shocked at how expensive unsweetened baking chocolate has gotten? I haven't bought it in so long, I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I have a stockpile of cocoa powder that I need to use up. I don't even know where some of it came from. Oh, I think it was a gift. Somebody gifted it to my mom. It's this like big tub of it. When are you and Andrew getting hitched? It's happening. Don't worry. We've talked about it. You guys will know when it happens, but that ball is in Andrew's court. Could you give my brother Dixon a shout out? He suffered with depression for a while, and it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Dixon. I hope that you feel better. Did you have kids? I mean children. No, not me, not for me. Do you have a favorite thing you like to cook / eat? I mean, I think a lot of my favorite things to eat are things that I don't personally cook myself. I don't know if those things are connected at all. I love sushi. I have no interest in learning how to make sushi. I'm sure I could. It's just one of those things that I would rather let people who are like experts at creating that dish make it for me. And by the time you get all the different ingredients, I don't know. It's just one of those dishes that I enjoy more if I have it out. I also really love steak. Andrew is the steak chef in our household. Thank you for the $2 from Mammy Mommy. I feel so bad when I don't know how to pronounce y'all's names, but I appreciate it. And Ninja, you are gone. Sorry. That was a troll. I was pretty sure it was, but that's why I only said the first name. But yeah, they're gone. Don't worry, I wasn't saying the full name. It took me a minute to pay enough attention to know, but that's why I'm on it. Thank you so much, Mel. And Toot as well. Toots. I mean, Alice, that just comes. It comes with the territory on streaming. I see it on every streamer gets it, and that's why a lot of you see it, especially streamers who do like shout outs to people's names. I mean, it's the old school, you know, when you would prank call and like the Seymour Butts, like the Bart Simpson calling Mose, like that. It's just that. It's nothing for me to stress over, but I caught him. That's so corny when people do that. I agree, but then again, my friends and I were definitely guilty of being prank callers when we were young teenagers. Granted, you know, we mostly did, like, we weren't calling random people at their houses. We liked to call the, like, 1-800 numbers late at night, which, I mean, nowadays I'd be like, don't bother people at work. But we mostly got answering machines anyway, and we just left, like, dumb messages on answering machines for businesses on their 1-800 numbers. Like I said, we weren't harassing people, like, in their homes at night or anything, but... I have a TikTok. I have a TikTok. It's that Lisa Dawn, but I very, 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 very rarely post on it. Short form is not my forte, if you may have noticed from the length of my videos. I try to do some short-ish content. I'm just not good at actually following through with that. Same thing with Instagram. I'm that Lisa Dawn on Instagram. I think I post a little more on Instagram than TikTok just because I'll post photos occasionally on Instagram. But yeah, short form is not my strength. Ooh, a marble banana bread. That sounds good. Wow, $10 a dozen on eggs. That's a lot, but I bet they were good. Yeah, they're down to like $2.50 to $2.70 here at most places. And that's just for like standard grocery store eggs, not fancy eggs or anything like that. All right, I think I want to make these banana things. So, and I wrote down that one too because I was like, I got too much going on if I'm trying to pay attention to this and also make something, not to have it written down. So, yay! Hello from Argentina. Happy to have you here. So, okay, I didn't know that y'all were also having really inflated egg prices down there too. I just never really heard, I never heard anyone outside of like North America talking about it, but obviously that doesn't mean that it wasn't happening. Just the videos that come up for me, I don't see a lot of South American videos, come to think of it. Cute thumbnail. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciated it. I was like, because I remember from the last couple times I did lives, I had awkward screenshots, and I was like, I'm gonna take a minute, I'm gonna take a picture and like throw a quick title on my phone real quick. I also love my recipe box. I got this, I know it came from Amazon, but my mom got it for me for Christmas one year. But I like it because it's like a nice little wooden box with a magnetic lid, and it's got a little groove here to put the recipes. I admittedly, I have not written down as many as I could have. I'm very, very slow to actually write down recipes, but I'm trying to get better about using it. And I mean, I do use it occasionally. Like I've got, you know, my butternut squash soup. I'm assuming that's probably going to be reversed for you, but like no knead bread, chicken and lentil curry, things that I make kind of consistently in the way that I do it. All right. So I got bananas today because they were, I got this bag of them and they were marked down to 25 cents. That's the only reason I decided to grab bananas when I went to the grocery store today. Because they're markdowns, they're a little bit overripe. Not all of them, but a few of them are like a lot more ripe than what most people are going to want to buy in the store. So they got marked down, and that benefits me because I got like 3 or 4 pounds of bananas for $1. Can't beat that. Will my mom ever be a guest star on my show? I don't know. I think she's more comfortable being in the background, occasionally having her voice. But yeah, maybe someday. And then if she is, y'all are gonna be like, you guys, because everybody tells us, you guys look like you could be sisters. Everybody says we sound really alike too. Any plans to do any freezer meals this month? If by freezer meals you mean pulling things out of my freezer and cooking them to rotate things out of my freezer. Probably that actually is on my very short list of like videos to do soon, because I haven't done it in a while. Like I pull things out of my freezer to use, but yeah, I find like every 2 or 3 months it's really helpful for me to make sure that I do like a solid few days, at least maybe even a week, of intentionally pulling things out of the freezer, because I guess I put things in the freezer a little bit faster than I take them out, which makes sense because sometimes I'm buying like, you know, 3, 4, 5 meals worth of something that's marked down to put in the freezer, and then if I'm only bringing out like, you know, 1 frozen thing a week, I'm gonna add faster than I'm gonna take out. Lisa D getting her wine on a little bit. All right, get myself just a little bit more wine. The Aldi California Heritage Pinot Noir. Like I said, it's not my favorite Pinot. I really love Pinot, but it is my favorite price. It's only a $5 bottle. I've got some bananas that are a little more ripe. See, I've also got plenty here that, you know, they've still got probably several days before they're kind of getting overly ripe, and I like a pretty ripe banana in general, so yeah, I'll be eating these for the next few days, but I've got 3 of them here that are a little on the more ripe side. Green Goddess dressing recipe. That sounds good. That sounds very good. Sideways is a good movie. I don't know if I've heard that one. I don't think I know anything about that one. I put this Worcestershire away real quick. I got a bowl here for my bananas. It'll be alright. I think I got butter. I hope I have butter. I should have butter. But I also should have taken it out before I started this. It's a great movie about wine. Alright. Yeah, Andrew and I are gonna watch a movie when dinner's done. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll watch something. I was debating about using a mixer for this, but I think I'll try to get away with a fork, just so that way we don't have to listen to the mixer. And these should be soft enough to just mash with a fork. Hello, Lisa from Mississippi Gulf Coast. Hey, Jen. What time is it there? Seem late? It's 11. It is late. But I'm a night owl. We had a late lunch, so it's all good. We're always up late on Saturday nights. We're either watching stuff or we're playing games. I am a Fortnite nerd. I play a lot of Fortnite. But Fortnite also has, like, a lot of people just associate it with, you know, a battle royale, you know, you're like shooting your enemies kind of game, which I do like that aspect too. But there's all these different creator modes, and there's all these horror modes, and so we play these different horror modes. Like there's one where it's like a ghost hunting game, and we really like that one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get into that later as well. Movie wise, what genre do I like? I like a lot of comedy. I like comedy. I like action. I like animated movies, anime. I'm not really I'm not really into movies about like cop movies, crime movies, detective movies, unless it's like, you know, like an old school 80s or 90s classic. And I'm not really into a lot of rom-coms. And and if it's like a sci-fi type movie, I probably will love it. Dune is another one that's been on my list forever. I also love all like the Marvel. I'm not really a DC movie fan. Like I've never been like a Superman, Wonder Woman fan, but I love all the Marvel stuff. Hey Deborah, great to have you here. Honestly, I didn't know I was going live either until I decided to do it. Have you seen the Resident Alien show? I have not. All right, I have to check my fridge real quick and grab some butter out. I'm not going anywhere, I'm right here. If I don't have butter, I don't know what I'll do. Oh, we're in luck. I got pushed to the back of the fridge, but I was like, I know I have butter. Usually I have it in a butter dish on the counter. But I don't know, July's just been such a weird month, and the last stick that was in the butter dish got finished, and I guess we just haven't had anything where we needed butter for anything. But so I'm gonna use a 1/3 cup of butter, and a little test here. Grab a little bowl so I can melt it. Horror. I do like horror too. I don't love horror that is like I like supernatural horror. I don't love I like campy serial killer movies, like the Scream movies and stuff like that. I don't like ones that are like super like psychological torture, things that I can realistically envision happening. Like I don't want to be sitting in my house at night and afraid that like this movie is about to play out in my house, but I love like supernatural and like campy horror. Oh, I mean, I guess I could have tried bacon drippings. I mean, that probably would be fine in a banana bread. My first thought probably would have been just to try it out with oil, but you know, you're right. But we're gonna go nice and safe tonight and do butter. I would have churned my own butter. You know, okay. It's funny you should say that, because I actually, like, if I ever see a bunch of cream marked down to a really good price, which probably won't happen. It would have happened at Kroger. If we still had Kroger around here, I think it would have happened. But if I ever run across a bunch of cream marked down, you know I will be making my own butter. Because I've done my own cheese when milk has... When I've had gallons of milk marked down that like needed to be used at the last minute, and that was a lot of fun. So I would definitely make my own butter. I also want to try making my own yogurt, because I know that is not hard to do, especially with an Instant Pot. I just haven't gotten around to trying it yet. I'm also really picky on my yogurts that I like. Like, I really want to love plain, high quality Greek yogurts, but I really don't. It's just so gross. But I try. Killer clowns from outer space, absolutely. And like the Trolls 2. If you know, you know. All right, be right back. I gotta melt this. Y'all will laugh. So I have these outlets right here that work in the kitchen, and the outlets for the appliances, for the stove and the fridge work. But my other outlets that are on this wall over here and this over here, they don't work, and we're pretty sure we know what we need to do to fix it, because we had to do it to another set of rooms in our house. But it involves turning the power out for the whole house and replacing the actual, like, not the fuse, but the breaker in the breaker box. And we've done it, and we can do it again. We're just not, like, excited about it. We got to work ourselves up to it. So my microwave is in the living room, which sounds kind of weird, but kind of works with our layout. But butter should be melted in just a sec. YouTube has been having tons of videos on making your own ice cream. So I feel like I did that way back in the day, and it was one of those things where it was fun to do as like a novelty, but store-bought ice cream tastes better, or for like a similar price. We have really, really good local ice cream places. And so it was fun to do as a novelty, but just wasn't worth it for like the effort and like price of the ingredients to go into it. A blog for a high school class about cult classic movies. Awesome. No, I do enjoy a cult classic. It was funny. Somebody mentioned Evil Dead earlier. So when the sequel came out, I don't remember when it was. I remember sometime in the 2000s. I can't remember when it was though. All I remember is that I'm standing in line at the movie theater to see it, and my mom is behind me, and we were buying our tickets separately, and I go up and I'm like, you know, one for Evil Dead, please. And I'm over 21 at this point. Like, I'm a full-grown adult. And the lady at the counter, she goes, now, you know this movie is rated R. Do you have an ID? And I did have my ID. But my mom is dying behind me, and she's like, Lee, I was praying you didn't have your ID, because that would have been the funniest thing ever, because I was going to pretend I didn't know you. But it was all good. I got to see the rated R movie as a full-grown adult. Alright, let me grab my butter real quick. Making yogurt in Instant Pot is super easy. Yeah, I've heard it's crazy easy. I just haven't gotten a chance to try it out yet, but it's definitely on my list of things to do. Alright, I don't know if this is quite as fully melted as I want it, but I'm gonna zap it for like 10 more seconds. The nice thing about not having my microwave in here anyway is, like, not even like I have that much counter space. So once we get the outlets fixed and I move the microwave back in here, I'm going to have to figure out where to put the microwave anyway, and where I'm going to move the things that are on my other counters. Yeah, I've definitely seen most of these the campy cult movies that you're mentioning. All right, be right back. All right, now this is definitely melted enough, and I'm gonna start my oven. It's a 350. Where did I get another? All right, I don't remember grabbing the second fork. I'm sure y'all watched me do it, but because I used one for the bananas and one for the butter. I didn't even remember grabbing it. All right, mix that in. Crazy Farm Girl, super happy to have you. It was a very kind of spur of the moment live to do. I don't do them often. I'd like to do them more often. I've also got I've been dragging this out, so honestly my beef stew is going to get done by time we're done on this, but it would probably be a good idea for me to figure out meals that I can do in, like, I don't know, like a 45-minute live or something like that. That kind of sounds reasonable and realistic. Someone asked, what am I making? I am making some Instant Pot beef stew. Oh, also, I'm making some like last minute banana bread, cupcake, muffins. I never know what to call it. I mean, it's kind of like a banana bread recipe that I just put in cupcake tins, but it feels not entirely accurate to call it a cupcake because it's not as sweet as a cupcake. All right. All right. I grab sugar. All right, and I do not have a half cup sugar here. Hold on, let me look at my cabinet. I'm coming right back, don't go anywhere. All right, here's the cocoa. I definitely need that. The Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, great movie. Huh, that sounds interesting. If you've seen World War Z, is that the one I'm thinking of? Is that Max Brooks? He wrote another like zombie survival guide. I don't know. I got to see him talk at UNC Asheville years and years and years ago. I went with one of my friends who I wasn't that big of a fan at the time, but my friend was a big fan. I became a fan later, read the book later, and should have, I kind of wish that I had read the book before I met him, because then I could have like had a book and gotten him to sign it, and I think I would have had a greater appreciation, even though it was a really fun event. All right, let me grab the sugar. I'm coming back. All right. Whew. Did y'all behave while I was gone? Sorry, I had to go into my like extended storage. It shows you how often I use a lot of sugar. I just don't use a lot of sugar, so had to go get a new bag for my extended storage. But we're back. I was about ready to be like, Andrew, come entertain my viewers, my people, while I figure this out. Do I have lemons or Baby Bell cheese? I don't think I have any of those things on my counter. I'm like looking behind me trying to figure out what I got. Am I growing anything in my garden? Yeah, garden has come up a couple times. Garden is seen better days. Between rain and deer, it's struggling this year, but like next year, I'm getting a little bit out of my garden, but next year, I'm going in with a whole new plan next year. It's gonna be great. Oh, the bananas. It might be the bananas. My 25-cent bananas. All right, where was I? I'm doing a half a cup of sugar. Because I always add chocolate chips to this, and today I'm gonna add chocolate and try that out. So I don't add too much sugar. I'll refill my little jar later. See, I usually have this little jar of sugar because I mostly use sugar when I'm making bread, and I'm only using like a tablespoon or less at a time. And I thought I had brown sugar in my cabinet, but I don't use it super often, and I don't know if Andrew finished it or not, or if I just wasn't seeing it, but either way. Hello, Karen from Houston. Great to have you. Can you recap how much of what liquids in beef stew? So I did 2.5 cups of beef broth, but I did water and bouillon because that's what I had. And I did a splash of red wine. I don't know, maybe a quarter of a cup. I didn't measure it. And then like a splash of Worcestershire. I did it was an 8 or 10 ounce can of tomato sauce. I don't worry about being too exact, but I think that's all the liquids I did. And honestly, I'll put this in the description, or I'll comment in the live when I'm done. I'll put my little recipe card in there in case, and yeah, so that way you can look at it there. This one's for the banana bread, but I'll do both. Granted, I'm only kind of using the recipe card for the banana bread right now. I'm going off the rails from what I have written here, and I'm getting distracted. All right, sugar, I need an egg. You can tell that the beef stew was planned and the banana bread was not necessarily, because I had all my ingredients out for the beef stew, and I'm like scrambling all around for the banana bread. It's super dirty, so I'm hesitant to show it because it's going in the laundry tomorrow, but look at this. I love this hand towel. One of my mom's friends got it for her birthday. Heinz ketchup makes great beef stew. I believe that. Actually, so today I got, it was marked down at Aldi to like 89 cents. I got this ketchup. It's a habanero tomato ketchup, and I feel like it's going to be really good in meatloaf because I like a little bit of spiciness in my meatloaf. Like I like to add a little bit of like hot sauce or spicy barbecue sauce or something. All right, where was I? I got an egg, I got sugar, I got the butter. I need to grab some flour. I'm just roughly measuring about 1.5 cups. Luckily, I do have plenty of flour, and I have like a big old jar on my counter. I do need to refill it soon, but luckily I have enough for this because I have a 25-pound bag of flour in my like extended pantry, which is code for a closet, that I pour my flour and my rice and like my dried beans and like use them for all of my little jars and stuff. That is my what's the word, like not realistic, but my practical pantry, I guess, on the counter. But here's about another 1/2 cup, so it's like about 1.5 cups of flour. And I need some baking soda. Luckily, I can reach that without my little stool. Do I have a mailing address? So I do have a P.O. box. It's not in the description of this live because it didn't give me the chance to add my like usual description, but it is in the description of all of my regular videos. Meatloaf is surprisingly tricky. So I have like, so meatloaf is one of the things that I have a go-to recipe that I do not, for the most part, really deviate from. And I love my meatloaf recipe. It's pretty close to like the old meatloaf recipe that used to be on the back of the like stovetop stuffing box. It's a little bit different. Like the only change that I really make is like I'll change the spices, like the seasonings around a little bit. And like what spicy element I add, whether it's hot sauce or like spicy barbecue sauce, or like I'm gonna do that spicy ketchup the next time I make meatloaf. And then like the only other deviation is that I started adding lentils to it to kind of extend it. But yeah, I love my meatloaf. That's one thing that I think I'm really good at. All right, so baking soda, I have a half teaspoon down here, but because I'm adding the cocoa, and I think this one is like a Dutch processed, yeah, Dutch cocoa. Something to do with the acidity means I need to add a little bit more baking soda. So I'm gonna grab a teaspoon. It's a half teaspoon, but we'll make it work here. Double checking, triple checking that it's baking soda and not baking powder, because I always have to double check those. All right, so I'll add a full teaspoon of baking soda. And then I need to grab some vanilla. Which I've got right here. This is the last I have of homemade vanilla that I made back in 2010, I think. I made like a whole 1.5 liters of it. And I'll add, what did I write down on my thing? I wrote 1 to 2 teaspoons. So that'll be good enough. I only recently switched it into this jar. That's why so I was spilling it and not very graceful with it there. I had it in the big jar that I made it with, but I literally just got transferred it to that jar recently. Vegetarian meatloaf. I'm sure that's good. Do you make it with lentils? I also used to add textured vegetable protein, TVP, to my meatloaf, just because there was a store here that it was cheap and easy to get, and I like it. All right. What do I still need? I need a little bit of salt. You know what I just realized I did? See, I screwed up, y'all. I was supposed to replace. That's why I'm working off of a recipe here that I wrote that's for the regular banana bread, and I was gonna change it on the fly, and that messed me up because I was doing too many things at once here. I'm paying attention to y'all, and I'm also trying to do this. I was supposed to replace a 1/2 cup of the flour with the cocoa, so I'm gonna see what I can get away with. Maybe I can add a little bit of extra oil, and it'll work out. I'm gonna make it work. All right, it's got a little bit of sugar on this. Will be all right. It's banana bread. It's very, very forgiving. It'll be all right. That's what I get for multitasking. Hello, Sean. You're right in time to watch me mess up and wing it and see if I can fix this. I'm making some banana bread, and I've got a recipe written, but I'm not actually following it, and so my ingredients are going to be a little bit off here, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna just throw a little bit of extra oil in there. It'll work out, right? Just add a little bit of extra moisture in there so it doesn't get too dry. Can make diamonds out of coal. I hope so. Yeah, I'm aiming for a chocolate banana bread. I got some chocolate chips I'm about to add here in a second too, and that's everything. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I feel like it'll just be a little bit dense. I don't mind that. Like, that's okay. I think that little bit of extra oil I added will keep it hopefully moist enough. But yeah, if anything, a little bit dense, that's fine. Yeah, I think that's everything. All right, chocolate chips. I'm using dark chocolate because they're left over from something that I cooked some time ago. I don't actually remember buying these. I just remember that they're really good. They're like the Hershey's Special Dark. I love dark chocolate. Winging it on how much. Hey, so those of you who are still here, you will get to see my beef stew get finished because I spent a lot of time rambling. And I'm about to, as soon as I get these in the oven, I'll release the pressure on this and add cornstarch, and that'll be done. I probably won't stay on for these to finish baking. I'll have to update y'all otherwise about them. But yeah. Right, that out of the way. These out of the way. A sip of water. And I took these out earlier just in case. Because when I bought the bananas today, I had an idea that I might do something like this. And I don't like, so I'm not a fan of like crock pot liners and things like that, but when it comes to making anything in one of these tins, I love cupcake liners. Also just makes serving them easier because, you know, whoever's eating it's got something to hold on to it, so. I love your confidence in me, Alice. I'm gonna absorb that and make it a reality. No, I really, honestly, like, this isn't that dry of a batter, so I think it's gonna be fine. I'm feeling good about it. I'm sorry that YouTube didn't let you know faster about my live. So I would like to do this more regularly, and if I do, I like to think that I might be able to be responsible enough to let y'all know ahead of time that I'm going to be doing it. And then, you know, you'll know and you can decide if you want to be available. Alright, I think spoon's probably going to be the way to go. I always forget to buy those liners. So I only just recently had, well, I had to buy plain ones. I actually have a ton of holiday ones, but then I get weird about using the holiday ones because what if I want them at that holiday? Because back when we had Kroger, because we don't have Kroger in my area anymore, but we used to, and so after every holiday, I would buy them clearance, marked down for like 50 cents, 25 cents. And so even though we haven't had Kroger since before 2020, I still have like in terms of baking supplies, like the liners and stuff like that, I have a ridiculous amount of Kroger things. It's actually kind of funny how many of the Kroger like manager special stickers I still have around my house. Like, so as an example, all right, these ones weren't marked down, but they're Kroger toothpicks, and I guarantee you, I bought them. They were probably marked down for some crazy low price years and years and years and years ago. Susan, first time seeing me cook live. Yeah, I don't do them often. It's been a long time since I've done one. I'd like to do them more often, but I got to work myself up to it. But this one's been going well. I feel like we've been having a really good time. So I will likely do more of them. I feel like every single month I say to Andrew, I'm like, I should do a live this month, and he's like, yeah, you should, and then the month goes by and I haven't done one, but I would like to. Yeah, I've heard notifications can be kind of weird for some people. Like they either aren't like subscribed for the notifications that they thought they were, that they initially did. But also I know that YouTube sometimes like they like to kind of take it into their own hands sometimes, and they notify people when they think they'll most want to actually watch a video. So sometimes if you don't get a notification right away, it can be because YouTube is testing things out on their end. My Kroger Halloween muffin liners. I have tons more Kroger muffin Halloween liners. I probably like, I mean, they're all gonna get used eventually. But yeah, I have a lot of Kroger holiday. I've got a lot of Valentine's as well, a lot of Christmas. So I have a lot. I've also got just random, like, it's owl themed. I'm not really sure what the owl themes were for. Maybe that was in for a little bit for parties. I don't remember. But yeah, I have an absurd amount of paper liners from Kroger that I got for 25 cents. And I do have mini liners. I'm just gonna pop this in the oven now real quick. Not sure how much they're actually gonna rise, so maybe I could have filled them a little more, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I do have mini liners that I could put in here, but this pan, the non-stick, works really well, and I'm not gonna waste the time going and looking for my mini liners. So actually, let me just look in this cabinet here real quick. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't remember where I put them. For Andrew's birthday, which was a few months ago, we did one of the things we did was a hot sauce, what did I use for the, it was like a chicken nugget hot sauce eating challenge. That's what it was. And I used the little paper liners to put the little pieces of chicken with the hot sauce on them. And so I had a tray of the most mild hot sauce we were doing in the challenge. And like the first 4 or 5 hot sauces, they were meant to be enjoyable. Like they were ones that like everybody could participate in and try different hot sauces. And then for the challenge, we did 4 hot sauces that were less enjoyable. I didn't participate, I just facilitated it. There were probably 6 people who went through all the hot sauces, and it ended up with me hurriedly making everybody ice cream cones to eat. I don't know if I would be confident enough to do a cooking class type deal. hesitated for a second because I was like, should I spray oil in these? But I'm just gonna have faith in the non-stickness of this pan. I can regret it later. I've already started putting them in. I might as well commit. Next time I'll make sure to have the liners. But because I don't know, I mean, even though I do videos on cooking, I cook almost every single day. I still feel like a novice chef in a lot of ways, because I feel like I'm still always like figuring out and learning how to do stuff. And so I feel like a lot of my YouTube channel is just like, hey, follow along with me and see if I get it right, and we can figure this out together maybe. Rachel Ray got started much like you. She used to put cooking demonstrations in grocery stores. That's funny because I actually thought about doing that for like a little side hustle, because that's the kind of thing that either like cooking, or I mean honestly like even giving away samples. So I used to work at Hickory Farms at the mall seasonally for funsies, just because I enjoyed it. Like it was fun handing out samples and just like interacting with people. And in terms of retail, because I don't love retail, like I've worked retail and I've hated it, and I don't aspire to work retail. Like all the respect and power for everyone who works retail, because it's a rough life, especially at the holidays. But I'll say that Hickory Farms is one of the most relaxed retail environments that you can work at for holiday retail, because like people aren't in a bad mood when you're giving them cheese ball samples, and they're just buying their cheese balls and their sausage logs, and they already know what, like they know what they're coming there for. They're in a good mood. So that's actually a really fun retail job to do. People who know more than they think they do always feel like a novice. I believe that. I'm really good at like imposter syndrome and feeling like I need to be so much more of an expert than I am to like be qualified to talk about something. Unless it's outdoor survival. That is like a niche hobby of mine that I never talk about, that I actually think I'm like really good at. Not like foraging. I would like to be good at like foraging and hunting and that kind of thing. But like I can start a fire. Okay, fun fact about me. I can start a fire by rubbing sticks together. Like I like bow drilling and things like that. Like that's a niche talent of mine that is, you know, something that most people don't know. Alright, popping these in the oven. I'm not really sure how long these are going to take. I'm just going to set myself a timer so I don't forget to check on them. And then I'm releasing the rest of the pressure on my pressure cooker here. And I'll get my cornstarch out. And then I'm going to grab a little bowl to mix some cold water and cornstarch with. I think I will save the live. So yeah, if you missed the beginning of the live, I'll probably keep it up. I don't really feel like I don't feel like I've embarrassed myself and I need to take it down. So I'll probably just keep it up so you'll be able to watch it if you missed part of it. All right, let me. Weird that I have a very specific like size little like bowl cup thing that I like to mix this in. A little bit of cold water, and then probably not even that much. And then a bit of cornstarch. I started just collecting like random like tablespoons and like scoops and stuff that were missing from full sets, and just keeping them in my various like glass jars, and it's made my life easier. I see Atomic Strip pop up occasionally. I haven't really like watched much. of his stuff, but he seems like he does really cool stuff. All right, let me get this cornstarch stirred in real quick. I would definitely watch a survival series. So it's funny because someday I would love to. All right, here's the thing. I took Andrew backpacking years ago, and I could have given him a better experience. I could have given him a better first backpacking experience. So he doesn't love it, but he's starting to come back around. That he's like, he'd be willing to go on a camping trip with me soon, car camping. So I would think I've had some ideas for like different videos I could do around like cooking while doing that. If Andrew was watching this live, he'd probably come out here right now to defend himself on the backpacking trip, and he'd be like, no, let me tell you where she took me. Alright, so I'm going to switch this back to saute just to help this thicken up, but I got my little cornstarch slurry. And as that heats up, it'll thicken this up a little bit. I'll give it a taste. I'm assuming that the taste is going to be great because it's got all of those, like the juices and the flavor from cooking the meat in there and all the veggies and then the bouillon and the seasonings that I added. If anything, because I didn't measure the bouillon, like there's always a chance that I'll add just a little bit more bouillon. We'll see. But I'm feeling good about it. Poor Andrew being traumatized and slandered. He's used to it. No, I'm kidding. The secret to car camping, air mattresses. Yeah, so my mom, she goes camping a lot, and yeah, she's got a whole setup. She's all about that air mattress, and she's got sheets for her air mattress, and it's not quite glamping. It's like a car camper who knows what they're doing. But so now, and you know, we'll take an air mattress when Andrew goes, and he's a lot happier because I'm just like, give me that, like, you know, the old school thin blue mat. Just lay that out. Like, I don't even need a tent. Just set up a tarp, and like, you know, I'll be under the tarp, and I don't need a lot, but the people who I would be going with are a little more not as rustic as me. Camping is a hotel that doesn't have room service. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like everything is harder camping. Like that's the reality. You know, washing dishes, cooking, sleeping, seeing at night, like everything is harder camping, but I do love it. Camping was most of the vacations that I went on as a kid. Camping in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. So, it's my mom's fault. She raised me to love camping, and she let me go to Alaska when I was 16 to work in a remote wilderness area for a summer, and that was what made the love of the backcountry and like the rustic outdoors happen. All right, I'm gonna turn this off because it is boiling, and I think the cornstarch has done what it is gonna do. I mean, we're not going for like, we're not trying to make it super thick. We're just trying to give it like a little bit of extra body. Get my cornstarch back in here. And I'm gonna grab a spoon so I can taste this and hopefully not burn my mouth. I was scared from New Jersey Pine Barrens. I was afraid. I've seen a bear. Ooh, man, I got bear stories. Not in New Jersey. It was in North Carolina, but I've been charged by a bear in North Carolina. I was camping where there was it was a backpacking trip where there was a nuisance bear and we hung our food, and it got into our food, and the person that I was with, they were trying to rehang what had gotten got, and I was watching their back, and as I was watching, the bear came back, and like, so yeah, I've been fully like bluff charged by a bear. And then the bear. All right, here's where it gets really crazy, because I didn't have any food with me or anything while we were sleeping. And we were under a tarp, not like in a tent or anything. And I had my backpack next to me, and it didn't have any food or anything in it. But I woke up because I felt the backpack get pulled away from my head. And I woke up and looked up and out this tarp, and there was the bear like this far away from me. And there was a moment of, what do I do? What do I do? It wasn't even panic. It just was like shock, and like, cause I just woken up and I'm like, what do I do? And then the bear just like, it huffed at me. Like it made this like, and then it just like, it dropped my pack and it turned and and I use the word saunter very intentionally. I always say it sauntered off because it just seemed so like annoyed and like, why did you wake up? Like I was going to run off with your pack that didn't even have any food or smelly stuff in it. But yeah, so that's my bear story, and so I'm not afraid of bears. I'm very, very, very confident about running into bears at this point. All right, let me try this. Trying to decide if it needs anything. But yeah, raccoons are the worst animal I've encountered while camping. Though they were the most nuisance because they'll get into things that like a bear couldn't dream of. Like raccoons are the worst. Please upload this as a video. I'm gonna keep it up. It probably won't appear. Like if you're on my channel page, it probably won't appear under the videos just because of how YouTube like groups things. But if you go under lives, I'm planning to keep it up at this point. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more bouillon. I probably could have benefited from measuring it, but at the same time, it's not a big deal to just add a little bit at the end. I just felt like I went a little bit light. That's probably all it needs though. Yep, that's perfect. That is all that needed. That's good. All right, so that is off. I got a few more minutes on the muffins here, but they look like they're actually pretty close to being done. Yeah, that was one of the things, me uploading the video and then deciding to do a live. I was like, people are probably going to see a notification for like either one or the other, or they're going to see one or the other on my feed. But I'm like, if I don't commit and do the live, I probably wouldn't do it tomorrow. So I was like, let's just do both, and I'll keep the live up. People can catch the other one. You know, they can rewatch the live if they want. I don't know how interesting it's going to be because I've been here for almost 2 hours, so there's probably going to be a lot of like, I don't know, it's probably not as much fun to rewatch as when you're here the whole time, but I'll keep it up either way. You can jump around or whatever. Hello, Jessica and Sammy, RMS, Dubby, hello, Jacksonville, North Carolina, the Common Sense Approach, I like your name. The bears are always getting in our garbage cans. Oh no. Yeah, I have a friend who lives in Asheville, and she posts a lot of videos of bears. I feel like when I lived out there, I mean, I wasn't in Asheville. I was in smaller communities around Asheville, but I felt like the bears weren't nearly as like habituate it to people and weren't as brave and assertive about getting involved with people. I hear you, Andrew. Food's done.
Okay.
The muffins are about to come out. I caught him going from one room to another. Okay, the New Bern area in Jacksonville, awesome. Love the North Carolina representation. I think east of Raleigh is like the only part of the state that I haven't lived in, because I lived out in the mountains. I stayed in Greensboro for a little bit. Like Raleigh is where my permanent home, or at least permanent for the, you know, it's been for a while and will probably be for the near future, has been. No idea where I would go after this, if I ever decide to go anywhere after this. Who knows? Tia is in Asheville too. Awesome. I love Asheville. Yeah, Western North Carolina in general. I love Western North Carolina. Brevard is beautiful. Brevard is beautiful. I love Brevard. The White Squirrels and their downtown, and what was the Square Root? Used to have, I think it was Square Root. It was Square Root or the other restaurant down there. But they had my favorite Cobb salad I have ever had, anywhere. And they stopped serving it years ago, and I still miss that specific Cobb salad. Natasha, don't worry about having missed most of the live. I'm going to keep this up, and I'm trying to use this as encouragement for myself that I should do another live, that I should do more frequent lives, because this is only like my third one that I've ever done. Maybe I'll plan it, the next one, a little better, so I'll let people know that I'm going to do it, and, you know, maybe make it a little more condensed than a 2-hour live. We'll see. Like I said, I kind of had the idea today that I was going to do a live, but I didn't actually know I was going to do it until I actually set it up. Andrew's kind of been like hyping me up all day about it, and like I wasn't sure what I was going to cook, and so yeah, but I think it's been fun, so I will most likely do more and try to do them more. Hey, Capricorn Fairy from Maryland. I had a friend, I mean, I've always, like, obviously I've passed through Maryland a million times because I lived in New Jersey and, you know, live down here now, and my family is in New Jersey. But I had a friend who lived in Maryland, and we went to visit her, a couple of my other friends, and they didn't tell me until we got there because, I mean, I got tricked. Apparently the whole visit was to go to this Game of Thrones pop-up bar. And I love Game of Thrones, but I don't like waiting in lines, and I don't like overpriced drinks. So I had previously said that I was not interested in going to this pop-up bar, and then I had forgotten about it. And then, yeah, they were like, oh, we're going to go visit our friend up there. And then we waited 4 hours in line to go to this pop-up bar, which admittedly was really cool, and it was decorated really cool, to spend $15 on a drink. You know, it was fun. Not something I would have chosen to do or would do again, but it was fun. It was in retrospect, it was really fun. And the drink that I got, it was like the shame something or other, and so when it got served to you, the bartender would like ring a bell, and like the whole bar would like be like shame, shame. So I mean, it was fun. It was well decorated. Like, it was a good pop up. But I would not wait 4 hours for it again. And $15 a drink is insulting. It was not a $15 drink. That's the cab sab.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see if these are done yet.
Oh, they smell great though.
I know, right? I made them chocolate. Like, not just chocolate chips, but chocolate.
Oh, good. I looked at them, I'm like, there's no way they're burnt.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm like, they smell great, but they look burnt. No, they're chocolate. I gotcha.
Andrew, I briefly mentioned the first time I took you backpacking.
Yeah.
And how that unfortunately formed your opinion on backpacking.
Yeah.
All right, these are, other than the chocolate chip there that was on here, these are coming out clean, so these are good. And let me grab the mini ones out and see if they're done. Ta-da! I used to be able to get drunk on less than $20 on a Friday night and get practically a gallon of mixed drink. Oh my gosh. I believe it. Alright, let me see if these little mini ones are done. Oh yeah, that's definitely done. Alright, trying to get my oven turned off because it is way too hot to have the oven on for a minute longer than it needs to be. I don't know what the actual temperature was today. I just know it was in the 90s and it was humid. But that is summer in North Carolina. I think it would be cool to spend 2 hours hanging out in a live, not boring. Awesome. I appreciate that because, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to bore y'all. I try to make it a fun time. It's paying attention to this and trying to keep up with y'all. But I mean, also it's something that I'm sure that I will get better at if I actually do lives more often. So these, let's see if these stuck. It probably stuck, and if it did, that's my own fault. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think it'll clean out fine, but that's nice and cute. I feel like the big ones are probably really good because they probably got a lot of chocolate chips in them. That's really good. Yeah, my little measuring mistake, not a big deal in the slightest. That's really good. Yep. Very, very chocolatey, and the chocolate chips in them, so good. I'm very, very, very happy about these. Hey, 30s is where it's at. And they also, my favorite bar didn't get bulldozed, but the owner did sell it fortuitously for him because he sold it, what was it, like late 2019, I think, because he had plans on opening up a new place. I don't think he has actually followed through on that, probably because of the environment of opening a new bar or restaurant in 2020 and directly after. But man, the vibes at that place were immaculate. Hello. Sorry for those of y'all who are just making it. Next time I'll try to announce it ahead of time. I can't promise that I will, because if the confidence and the urge strikes to do a live, I gotta run with it. But my goal is to, announce these and make it something that is a more regular thing. I don't know, maybe like Friday night dinners or something. Saturday nights are a little iffier for me just because, sometimes I'm doing things with friends, sometimes I'm at home doing nothing. But Friday nights are usually pretty calm around here. I feel like it would be fun to do this as a regular thing. Jessica, what color do you think my natural hair is? That's the question. I've been blonde for a long time, and I think that it's the color that it suits me the best. I feel the most me as a blonde with, a little bit of pink, but I'm curious to know what color you think my natural is. Yeah, I believe that the insurance on alcohol licenses went up because I feel like everything has gone up, especially related to in the insurance industry. Hey, it's Jamie Lee. You got it. Yep. I guess I have said before that I am a redhead, and everyone always says like, why would you want to dye your hair? But I don't know. I feel most me with my hair like this. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm filming with my phone, like if I was filming with my computer here, I would hold up and like show y'all a picture. I do not color my hair myself. I do the pink myself. I don't do the blonde myself. I'm not that confident with bleach. I have a neighbor who does it for me, and I love her. So I get to hear all the neighborhood gossip, and it's a good time. Yeah, I feel like my features, like my eyebrows and when I'm not wearing mascara, my eyelashes and all, it's so light that like people, the blonde is very fitting. Oh, could I show the finished Sue? Sure can. Because we're about to go ahead and eat and watch a movie. Still don't know what movie we're gonna watch, but we're gonna watch a movie. And then so we'll have some stew, and then we'll have our my muffins here that I made for dessert. But there is the finished stew, and I've tasted it, and it is super delicious. And I will usually YouTube goes through like it's gonna finalize the file, I guess, or whatever for the live before it's like available to rewatch on my channel. I'm pretty sure that's the process it normally goes to. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a live, but I'll probably pin a comment or put it in the description. We'll see which I do, but I'll put the recipes that I used in that. I'll try to give you the correct the recipe I intended to do for the muffins and not my screw up in recovery. Right at this, oh God, you're right. It is midnight. It is a midnight snack at this point. I didn't realize it got that late. But like I said, Andrew and I are night owls, and we had a late lunch, and yeah. So I guess now we're gonna have dinner and watch a movie and have some dessert, and that'll be the remainder of our night. All right, so I think I am going to wrap it up because, as we mentioned, it is after midnight. If I was Cinderella, I would be late to get my carriage back before it turned into a pumpkin. But yeah, so while this is hot and fresh, we're gonna enjoy it. But I loved hanging out with y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me. I will try to do this more often, and as well as just like posting regular videos more often. Like I said, I try not to have a big break like I did in July. I've got a bunch more videos that I'm about to record, and they should get out much quicker. So I so appreciate y'all's support and company, and I love doing this, and y'all make it worth it. And yeah, so I will see y'all later. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your night, rest of your weekend. Bye!